Functional requirement is about functionality. It's things that the system needs to do. Okay, it's not quality. It's not quality of the software. For example, if you develop a car, you have features that the car needs to have. The car needs to have a wheel. The car needs to have seats. The car needs to have air conditioning. Okay, and it's functional requirements. It's like the system. The system needs to have a login, or the system. A login is a you can use login as a feature or use login with an expectation, okay? But the system, for example, add users and perform a lot of tasks. Non-functional requirements is about expectation, okay? It's about property of the system. It's not functionality of the system. For example, in the car needs to be saved. It's a property. Okay, it's an expectation. The car has wheel, has seat, has engine. However, if the car is not safe, it's not work. Okay, but the safety is a property, is an expectation, is a thing that I expect that system has, but it's not a feature. Okay, it's a non-functional requirement. Okay. The system need to interoperate with other system, for example, database, external database, for example, things e-commerce system, and the system need to interoperate with Amazon, for example. Okay, depends. It's the case of depends too, but it's a property. The system need to be easy to use. For example, it's a good example. The system needs to be easy to use, okay? It's an expectation. It's not a feature, okay? If it is an expectation, it's a non-functional requirement, okay? Another thing that is important to know is about, okay, functional requirement, non-functional requirements, but okay, how to translate these things to user store. User store is about functionality. It's about what the system needs to do to support the user, the customer. And it's features, okay? User store is about features, okay? Remember, who, what, and why is feature, okay? What the system needs to do is feature. And, okay, you map functional requirement to user store. But in non-functional requirements, non-functional requirements, you map to user store, but not in the body of the user store, is in the acceptance criteria, because the acceptance criteria is things that you prove that the features is accomplished, okay? And a non-functional requirements is an expectation, is a property, okay? Maybe you have a user store and you prove that the user store is accomplished or not accomplished through non-functional requirements. What I try to explain. Remember the report and remember the table that you need to describe the user store. And there is a column that you need to put the reference, okay? You cannot have a user store where the only reference is a non-functional requirement. You can have, for example, a user store that has a functional requirements and 2, 3, 1 non-functional requirements as a reference, okay? In this example, you have a feature and you write a user store and you prove that this feature is accomplished or not through an acceptance criteria that you describe non-functional requirements, okay? However, you cannot have a user store that the only reference is a non-function, because non-functional requirements is about expectation, property, is not an action, Okay, use store is an action, is a feature. Okay. Did you understand any question about this specific stop?
No, teacher.
Okay, it's a common error that I found in this task. Okay, it's a really common error, not only in this class, in this group, but in another too. Okay, another thing that I would like to talk is, I don't expect that you did it, okay, but I expect that you do it, okay. And in the first week of the first week after the Semana E, I expect that you already did this update in the report, okay? But I will talk better after the presentation. But, okay, you describe a lot of user requirements, okay? Different function requirements, a lot of non-function requirements, okay? And given there are groups that read the report, the description of the repo, and propose very, very good ideas. Okay. However, I need to everybody create the same project. Okay. It's the reason that I publish the function and non-function requirements, a list of function and non-function requirements to the repo. Okay. And the idea is, you use this function and non-function requirement to work in the project. You leave the things that you did, okay? Okay, again, you did a very good work. However, I need to, everybody works in the same project, okay? It's the reason that I published a list of function and non-function requirements, okay? And I need to move, not today. Today, I would like to see your work, okay? But for the after the Semana E, okay, the week after the Semana E, I would like to the project follow this list, okay? And you use this list during after the Semana E in the next class, okay? Any questions? No?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, I will explain better the dynamic of our class after Semana E late, okay? I will talk late about it, okay? So, okay, we start the presentation now, okay? Each group has no more than 20 minutes, okay? And what I expect to see, as I send in the message, I would like to see that you explain what is your project is, what is about your project, okay? I know you can say, oh, everybody works in the same project, but the interpretation, what you need to do, maybe I see the report is a little different. Okay? It's the things that I would like to listen, and maybe I will provide some feedbacks. And show me in the not in the canvas, in the Jira, the setup of the project, the people, the projects, the user stores, and the planning of the sprints. Okay. Are there any group that want to start? No? Okay, the first one is RoboGod. You can you start? Abraham, Amando, Luis, Guillermo, Isabel, and Alejandro. If you want, you can share the screen. Oh, no, now you can share, yes. Okay. When you...
First, here we have, first, before
everything happened, we went to Confluence to make a little action plan about what we were going to do in the semester, like a very short document about the 5 deliveries. Then we went to translate that into the sprints. We have 5 sprints about the final planning, the creation of the hardware, the edge architecture, like the final, where it is supposed to be the final product, and the final documentation, like the document we're going to deliver. And then we have all the user stories with each one has like tasks about like, for example, this one is about the system, a general system about like the general description of the system, and then we have here like the planning of the requirements, the design of the hardware, and so on. And here we have the story points. We measured like approximately in ideal conditions how many hours we would take doing this, and that's our story point. Well, I think that's it, because we haven't started in Sprite yet.
Okay, perfect. And my own question is about how do you design how you define the story points? Can you explain a little how the method, the process that you use with the group, or you or the other guys? Okay, who won?
Well, we decided to make a ranking point system based on, according to what we know, how many hours it would take us to complete a specific task, and the points we assigned are technically hours that we're going to put in doing that specific work.
Okay. And finally, what is the worst part of this activity? What is more hard to do? What do you think?
I think that the initial planning, well, is the one that has more story points, because we weren't familiar. For example, like using Jira, it is the part with is the part which we are less familiar to, like the user stories, the specification of functional and non-functional requirements. I think that was the most hard part, and we have already spent a couple hours in it.
Okay, perfect. Can you share your screen, please? Thank you. Go to the project pages. The página de projeto, yes, please. Thank you. I think you can, not for today, okay? It's to after the Semana E. I would like to see you define it is in the what's the name of the tools is, I miss the name of these tools. It's not the Jira, it's the Confluence. Okay, I would like to see a page, okay, in the Confluence or here about the requirements report. You don't need to put, for example, the part relate to the user store, because you report the user store in the backlog. However, I would like you to see a document, nothing different that what you already did. Okay, get the comments that I provide you, in the canvas about the first report about the requirements, okay, and copy and paste the content of the report to the project to one page here, okay, and again, you don't need to copy the part related to the user store, only the part related to the rest of the document, except the user store, because you report the user store in the backlog. Did you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, teacher. Yes.
And now you start to use only here to see things about the project. Okay, I don't use external tools to see, for example, reports of the project. Okay. A last question. Did you add me in your project?
Oh, no.
No,
I
no,
think
no
yes.
problem. No problem. I what I would like to ask to do today, okay? I believe the activity is open until the end of today. In the canvas, you will submit. You add me in your project. In the canvas, you only submit the attached file with the address of your project. Did you understand?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just on it. You add in the project and you submit in the canvas the name, the URL of the project that you have in the Jira. Okay, and to enable that, I can have access and I can follow what you're doing. Okay.
Okay.
Guys, thank you very much. I really good your work. Okay. The last comments. After the Semana E, okay, the beginning of after the Semana E, I would like that you revise the user store. Okay, I don't know if you already did. Okay, but get the new features on the new function and function requirement, and adjust the user store to reflect the new requirements. Okay, not the requirement that you wrote. Did you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, perfect, guys. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay, the next one is Easy IoT.
Yeah. Okay, so basically for this project, we are developing an IoT system which will monitor the levels of trash in a dumpster of garbage of a garbage collection company. So basically, this way, the company that collects the garbage can know which dumpster needs collection in order to execute it efficiently in which dumpster. So our system is designed for any garbage collection company looking for some technological solutions. So in order to be sure that it works, our system requires sensors and IoT network where the current amount of trash in the dumpster can be monitored and the data collected sent to a database so we can visualize it via a web page, for example. So in this web page, the users can access the dashboard and see the current status of the network, the status of each dumpster, the average of all dumpsters, and their location. So this will be made through color classification. For example, 75% or more of the dumpster capacity for red, between 50 and 25% for yellow, and less than 25% capacity for green. The web page will also notify the user if a dumpster changes to red so the company can plan its collection. So in this project, while we were working on it, we were using Jira as our main workflow platform. So here in the screen, we can see all of our backlog and basically the sprints that we divided the project into. In this case, we are considering that each sprint would take a duration of about 2 weeks. And at the end of the 2 weeks, we would make then reunions and discuss the status of the current project, of the current sprint, whether we finished the sprint, the complications that appeared, etc. and basically we are going to decide at the end of each sprint what are we going to do the next sprint in order to be certain that the project is going in a good way, or if we have to change something, maybe our work hours, for example, in order to complete the project properly. So we can also follow through Jira the user stories and assign the story points, and then each sprint see if the story points are completed or not, and plan if we need to change something, right? So for example, in this sprint, in the first sprint, for example, the user stories, we have a story point for the users for the first task of 10, which is indicated in the platform, you know, alongside the bottom of hacer por, tareas por hacer, we have there assigned 10. And in this case, we are thinking of the story point as counting an hour, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So basically, in the first sprint, we have a story for the first user story 10 points, for the next 4 points. In the second sprint, we have the first user story 10 points, the second 2 points. For the next sprint, the sprint 3, we have the user point 15 and then 5, and the last one is 3, right? As we can see in the platform, basically. So in this case, how did we calculate the story points? We for our team, we are considering that each story point takes about an hour to complete. So basically, we think that this is better. For example, if we were to use the default, that would be, for example, 4 hours, right? So there are some tasks that seems to be like quite similar in difficulty, but if we were to assign them at the both of them 4 points, then for example, one of them would be 4 points and the other one would be 4 points, but they're not actually, in fact, the same difficulty, right? So we would be assigning the same amount of hours for a task that is similarly difficult compared to other, but that wouldn't be like very specific, right? So in this case, we decided that each story point would take about 1 hour to complete, and so we can organize our time better, right? So what else? Yeah, well, we found some difficulties when we were doing our planning and our project in as a whole. Basically, we had some difficulties because we weren't sure that the user stories and the acceptance criteria that we were establishing for each story point are correct, right? We didn't know, so we had just to not guess per se, but we have to think about it a lot, decide whether it is good or not for the project. And we also had some difficulties when we were searching defining the appropriate functional and non-functional requirements of the system, and their difficulty levels, for example, their priority levels. But we think that this is very normal because we're just learning how to identify them, right? So we have to take some time and think about them a lot, right? But I mean, it's just a natural part of the process when we are just starting in this kind of problems. As we at least we think that when we are more advanced in the project, we will easily, or easier at least, find the correct, the correct user story and stuff in an easier way, right? So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Luis. I really appreciate your presentation. The only comment that I have is it's not wrong. Okay, it's only a comment. Follow the Scrum. Okay, follow the Scrum. To define the sprint, what you put in the sprint, it happens during the planning. Okay, what I try to mean. You move the backlog to the sprint only in the planning, but it's planning by plan. For example, the first sprint, in my opinion, is not the for things. Things the first sprint is the second one. Okay, to make sense. Okay, the first sprint is the second one. Okay, and we had a meeting. And we define, okay, my target, it is my target, okay? And you select the user story that you insert in the sprint, okay? The other user story you keep in the backlog. Why? Because you cannot, there are some chance that you didn't finalize the user story during the sprint, the user story that you insert in sprint. And the other is, there are maybe the PO change the mind about what is important, what's not important. Okay, but again, you did a really good work. Okay, did you use the Confluence in the to set the project?
Like for the páginas de proyectos?
Yes.
Or for, yeah, I think I'm not sure actually. Ivan,
Yes, we
did you?
create. Yes, we create one page uh, that is called requerimientos funcionales y no funcionales,
Okay.
and we put the requirements here, all the requirements about the last document, and that we share it to you in Friday. So we don't lose the information about the project, and we can change it in order that we advance in this
Yes.
project.
Yes, perfect. Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Did you add me?
Yes, yes. Last night we had you. I think that as was 12 p.m. in Brazil. So if there can be a email in your.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I receive a lot of emails. Okay. However, I didn't have time to accept the invitation. Okay, but I received 4 or 5 3 or 4 groups send me a message. But it's the question. I asked them to to confirm that you already sent. Okay, thank you. I appreciate. Just want to remember in the submission page, submit a very small, simple text file. And inside the text file, you have only the name of the group and the link of the project. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. I really appreciate. And again, I'm happy with the engagement that you have in this course. I really appreciate it. Okay. So the next group is Compo Mundo Hyper Mega Head. Aranza, Maria, Clarita, Gael, Alfonso, and Victoria.
Yes, teacher. Okay, well, here it is our project. In the backlog, we have all of our tasks to do, and we set the difficulty with those numbers where we have our bigger difficulty as 5, and then we set them all. Well, those are the story points estimate, and right now to set all these story points, we use like an app where each one of us set a difficulty, and then if we have the same, we set that. But if no, we discuss why we set that difficulty, and in group we set 1. And Gael, do you want to say the other part?
Yeah, sure. What my partner was saying is that yesterday we had a meeting and we used a page called Scrum with Me. In this page, what we did was reading each task by task, and based on the most difficult one, we started pointing the other tasks. And if we didn't get the same points, everybody in the team, we discussed why do we set those points to the story until we got to agreement to set the point to the, well, to set the points of the story. Do you want me to explain the sprints, please? Can you go to the top? Yeah. We divide, can you make them little with the arrow that it's on the left of each sprint? Yeah, thank you. We divided the sprints in this way. We got the sprint to create the models that are to add data to the platform. We got another sprint to the models that will work to visualize data. Another sprint to the ones that will work to delete data. And the last one, as we're planning to use email services and other services that may require to use external services like a hosting or a domain, we may consider that last sprint in order to put everything in the host and like configure the things that we may need. We're planning also to change all of the first 3 sprints because, as we know, we should let like the same amount of work for each sprint. I think we got like 36 points, so we should divide them like 12, 12, and 12 points if we got 3 sprints. We're planning the sprints to last at least 2 weeks. I don't know if one of my classmates wants to explain something else that I may be missing.
Well, just about the backlog, our user stories, we have them first in our document that we submitted to Canvas, but then we split some of the tasks into smaller tasks because they required they would require more time. So we made them smaller and divide them into smaller tasks. So that's why we have like more user stories here than that we used to have into our document.
Okay. Any other thing?
No, only to comment that our teammate Gail said that we divided by the CRUD is for create, this here, and for read, yes, see, and delete and update. So we based on that. I think that's it for our project.
Okay, perfect. Did you create a project page in Confluence?
No, we haven't done already.
No problem. So okay, my comments about your work again. Thank you very much. I appreciate the engagement. It's really good. Okay, I remember. Yes, your report is very, very good. Okay, and what I would like to see after the Semana E. Okay, I would like to have that you created the page of project again. You add inserting this report inside the Jira, the captain 1 when you describe the project, and the captain 2 except the user store. Okay, and in the captain 2 when you define the requirements, the function and non-function, you don't use the functional function requirement that you wrote. Okay, you use the function and function requirement that I created. Okay, and that I published. Also, in your case, I would like to see in the backlog the user store. Okay, don't delete the text that you already created. Okay, what you can do is use the reference related to the task, and when you create the user stores, okay, task by task, for example, the módulo criar usuários. Check what is the user store that is related and related this task with this user store. Did you understand?
So we put like here we put like the ID that we used in the document.
No, are you, who controls the browser here?
I think it's
who
Editor.
find the chart?
To,
Okay,
to
okay. I believe, click here. No, sorry. It's not here. Scroll down here, please. No, here. Scroll up, please. Yes, here. Okay. Yes. Did you see here, this button here? Click on this button. Okay, click here. Oops, click it. Sorry, I delete my notes. Okay. Did you see you have blocks, clones, related? Oh, yeah, you have related to. Did you see? When you created the user store, okay, you don't have user store here. You put relate, for example, this task is related to, and here you put the name of the user store. For example, yes, you select the user store that this task is related. Did you understand?
okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, it's really good, the task. I have a good surprise. Okay, really. Okay, for today, again, create a file with the name of the group and the link of your project and send to me. Okay, if you did admin the project before you send the link. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Any other thing that you would like to talk?
I don't think. Thank you.
I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you very much, group. Again, I really appreciate the job. The next one is the IoT.
Well, first we created like the sprints. Well, for the user stories, and then we separate the sprints based on what we had to do in each sprint. So I think they're going to explain the first sprint.
The first sprint is focused on setting up the entire sensor system and make sure that the data is well transferred into the cloud from the edge devices.
Then the second sprint is all about how we're gonna make transform that data into valuable information for the user. Also in the document, we added a non-functional requirement that says that all the information needs to be clear and well organized for the user to understand it like perfectly and quickly. And on this sprint, we are also gonna try to achieve that. So like making all the information valuable in a good way, in an organized way.
Then we have the third sprint, that is the system needs to alert the user at certain points. So we put these user stories, that is the alerts. And we think that if this is the third step we need to approach, because we already have the data sending from the sensors, we have the dashboard, now we have to do something with the data.
Okay, finally, we have the sprint number 4 that it is about that the goal of this sprint is to check the safety of the users.
For the story points, we created like a system that we say that it represents 2 hours per member, and for 3 days, for example. This we're going to do it in 3 days, and this in 1 day and a half. So it's a total of 45 hours. That it's equivalent to 4 days. So this one we're going to start on November 7th to November 11th. That is second week of the next well, after Semana 8. Then the sprint 2 we're going to do in 6 days. That is on the 3rd week. And the third sprint in 3 days, that it's on the 4th week. And also the last one in 3 days, that it's on the last week, I think. And that will be all.
Okay. 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 The comment is the same. Okay. I really appreciate the work. Okay. The level of absorption, or the level of the things that you're learning, and I rephrase. The level of what you're learning, what you acquire in these days, much more than I thought, okay, than I planned. Okay, you get the main points of the sprint, the main point of the user store, and how to the requirements things. I really appreciate your job, and I have only a few comments. Okay, the first is the project page. Okay, again, like I said to the others, and the second about the sprint definition, but didn't change. Okay, just only keeping in, don't change. Okay, don't change. Keep freeze the planning. Okay, after the Semana E, we discuss about it. Okay, better. And again, I really appreciate your job. It's very good. I really things that you you are in the good path. Okay, so again, I don't have specific questions. Okay, and so for the after the Semana E, I would like to see the project pages. Okay, and for today, I would like that you submit a file. Okay, a text file with the name of the group and the project page. Okay, and if you didn't add me, please add me in the project. Just all. Do you have any question to me?
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much, and really appreciate the work. Okay, the next one is the megabits.
Give us a minute, teacher. Wait. Okay. Hi everyone. We are the team of Megabits. Well, the team is Héctor Miranda, Rodrigo Gómez Quiroz, Luis Ángel González, Octavio Augusto Alemán, and me, Misael Chávez. And well, we're going to give us our Scrum methodology for the planification of the project. Well, in the first two slides, we have a little introduction of what is a Scrum methodology. Well, I will explain in this as quick as possible. Well, the Scrum methodology is a method of develop and maintain a complex and simple projects. No? This method is divided in three parts. That it's the first, the Scrum, that as the name says, well, not as the name says, but it's also divided in three parts, we can say. That is the project owner, the Scrum Master, and the development team. And these have another steps. That is a sprint backlog. That is how the project will constructed by the completion of the sprint. And well, and also the daily Scrum. That is our daily meeting, so we can be updated of the advance of the project and the product. That it's the product.
Well, in terms of the team members, first we have the product owner member, Michael Chavez. He's the one responsible for connecting the client with the team members and the Scrum Master. Siguiente. And then again, we have the Scrum Master and team member, Hector Miranda. He's the one in charge of supervising and translating what the product owner said the client wants, emphasizing on detail. Next. And well, finally, we have the whole team, the team members development of the project. We have Rodrigo Gomez, Misael Chavez, Luis Ángel González, Héctor Miranda, and me, Augusto Alemán.
Okay, so for the development of the backlog, we divided and organized our sprints into backlogs with common themes. We set up the start date to be the week after Semana Tech, because we think that each sprint should have a maximum deadline of 1 week. We added an additional sprint for extra work intended for fixing errors, or for additional functionalities to be added. Also, we plan a limit of 4 weeks for the development of the project. If you can go down, Misael, to the last sprint, please. Misael, si puedes bajarle, por favor. Well, our largest sprint is the one focused on functionalities of the platform. So that the sprint is taking almost 2 weeks. Well, I think Misael lost his connection. Let me check what happened.
Okay. Okay, can you share again the project, please?
Sorry, it's just that Misael lost his internet connection. So let me share it by myself. Okay. Okay. Okay, so as I was saying, we divided all of our sprints into common themes, backlogs with common themes. For example, here we have the development of the deposit or trash can. This is like the hardware part development. Then we have like the backend, which is more focused on developing the database or some backend functionalities. We have also the development of the app or platform, where we will be developing the functionalities for the platform. And then we have an additional sprint intended to fixing some errors or improving some functionalities or maybe adding some functionalities. We have also assigned each backlog, as you can see here in the right side of the sprints. We have assigned it to each member of the team who will be in charge of accomplishing these backlogs. Well, each sprint is intended to be realized in 1 week. Yeah, after the Semana Tech. And yeah, we think that's all our planification.
Okay. Perfect. So, okay, perfect. I appreciate your work. I believe you don't have. Okay, the comment is the same. Create a project page. Don't touch in the backlog. Keep the backlog like that. Okay. Keep the sprint like you did. We will have time to discuss about it after the Semana E. Okay, and create a file to with the name of the group and the name of the group and the page of the project. If you already didn't invite me, okay, to participate in the group, okay. So, okay, I have one very quick question, okay. What do you think is the hardest part in this work, in this activity?
Well, we think the largest part is this part, the development of the app, because as you can see, we have a lot of backlogs here. So we're thinking on moving some backlogs from this sprint to the pruebas and errores sprint, so we can make it easier for us to develop, well, to have a 1 week planification for each sprint.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you very much. Again, congratulations. If you want, you can, yes. Okay, I saved the grades. Okay, this activity, I will change the view. Okay, now I see everybody. This activity is a binary activity, okay? Or you did or you don't did, okay? Everybody in this activity receive 100 points, okay? It's 100 points. There is no 19, 18, no. Everybody wins 100 points. Just remember, okay, but there is one question. It's a binary. You need to submit the file until the end of today, okay? You have until the end of today to submit the file, okay, with the name of the group. It's only this thing that you need to do, okay? Any question, guys? No?
No, teacher.
Okay. Now it's 10:10. We have a break until 10:20, okay? Oh, I received a message in the chat, just a moment. You need to upload in the Canvas a test file. Inside the test file, the name of the group and the link of the project, just only it, okay? I don't know who asked me. Okay? Okay, guys, see you 1:00. It's 10:10, okay? Or 10:20, okay? See you soon.